Story 1. The campsite that rearranged us. I was 22 when this happened, during the final spring break of college. Me and 3 friends, Josh, Trevor, Lena, and me, decided to go car camping in northern New Mexico. We weren't beginners. We'd done trips like this before. We knew how to set camp, store food, and stay alert. That confidence is probably why we ignored the warning signs. The spot was something Josh found on a free camping app. No campground, no fees, just a dirt road that kept going long after cell service disappeared. The deeper we drove, the quieter it got. Not the relaxing kind of quiet. More like the forest was holding its breath. We arrived just before sunset and found a clearing surrounded by tall pine trees. No fire rings, no trash, no footprints. It felt untouched, which at the time felt perfect. We pitched our tents in a loose line, about 10 feet apart, and made a small fire. Nothing strange happened that evening. We ate canned food, talked about stupid college stuff, and laughed until it got cold. Around midnight, we all turned in. That night, I slept deeper than I ever had while camping. No tossing, no waking up to noises, just darkness. When I woke up, my first thought was that something was wrong. I unzipped my tent and froze. Our tents were no longer in a line. They were arranged in a perfect circle. In the center of the circle was a pile of rocks stacked carefully on top of each other. Not dumped, not scattered, balanced. I stumbled out and checked my tent. Everything was untouched. My shoes were still inside. My phone was right where I left it. The stakes were still firmly in the ground. Josh came out next, then Trevor, then Lena. None of us said anything at first. We didn't have to. We checked the ground. There were drag marks leading from where the tents had originally been placed, but they stopped short, like whoever moved them lifted the tents at the end. Lena finally spoke. She said she'd dreamed someone was whispering numbers in her ear. Josh admitted he'd dreamed we were standing in a circle, holding hands, while something watched us from the trees. We didn't joke anymore. As we were tearing down camp, Trevor kicked the rock pile over by accident. The moment the rocks hit the ground, we heard it. A low, distant rumble, like massive stones grinding together far away. It lasted maybe 10 seconds, then stopped. We packed in silence and left. None of us suggested staying. A mile down the road, I looked back. Through the trees, I could swear the rocks were stacked again. Story 2. The man who never used a light. This happened when I was 26. My girlfriend Hannah and I planned a weekend camping trip in western North Carolina. Just the 2 of us. A public campground, but not a busy one. 6 sites total, spread out through the forest. We arrived around sunset. Only one other car was there, an older SUV parked at the far end. No one was around it. We set up our tent, started a fire, and tried to relax. Around 9 p.m., a man appeared at the edge of our campsite. He didn't make a sound. He introduced himself as Caleb. Early 30s. Calm voice. Too calm. He said he was camping alone and just wanted to say hi. The way he stared at Hannah made my skin crawl. I noticed something else too. He didn't have a flashlight, no headlamp, nothing. When I told him we were turning in, he smiled and said, "Good idea. People walk around here at night." Then he stepped back into the trees. We stayed up longer than planned, nerves buzzing. Eventually, exhaustion won. Sometime after midnight, Hannah shook me awake. "There's someone outside," she whispered. I listened. Slow footsteps, circling the tent, pausing, starting again. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. Silence. Nothing there. In the morning, there were footprints all around the tent. Bare feet, adult-sized. That afternoon, we found a note tucked under our windshield wiper. "Move your tent." We were packing up when Caleb reappeared. Same clothes, same smile. He claimed he heard people walking around his SUV at night too and was leaving early. As we drove out, I noticed his SUV hadn't moved. 100 yards down the road, Hannah screamed. 3 figures stood between the trees, watching us leave. They didn't move. They didn't need to. Story 3. The tally marks were still being updated. This happened 2 years ago. I was 30, recently divorced, and camping alone in Montana to clear my head. I chose a remote area deep in national forest land. No official sites, no nearby roads. The first thing I saw when I arrived was an old tent in the clearing. It looked ancient, moldy, collapsing in on itself. Inside, I found a sleeping bag, empty cans, and a small notebook. Every page was filled with tally marks, grouped in 7s. The last page wasn't finished. That night, I woke up to whispering outside my tent. More than one voice. They circled me, slowly, methodically. Then someone grabbed my zipper. I yelled that I had a gun. The whispers stopped. Footsteps ran in different directions. At sunrise, the old tent was gone. In its place were footprints, bare feet, circling my campsite. Deep impressions like they'd been standing there for hours. On a nearby tree, fresh tally marks had been carved, 7 new lines, and the start of another. I packed up shaking and left. Before I drove away, I looked back. Someone had added one more mark, ending line, perfect for outro. Some places aren't empty. They're just waiting.